You gotta stop being a doormat. Stop letting people walk on you, through you, over you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really looking bad out here. We looking like Ty Lue with the AI step over, or how people just blatantly disrespect us. You know what I'm saying? And at some point you gotta take a stance. So I'm hoping this video will give you some insight, give you some advice as to, why you need to start speaking up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you can't expect people to respect you if you don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. It's your boy Tay. This is the Nfluence channel. Y'all stay tapped in. You already know. Yo, before anything else, man, hit the share, hit the like, hit the subscribe, all of that jazz. Put your people on. This is for you and yours. Nfluence merch is online right now. Go ahead and cop that while it's still up. So like I said, let's get into it, right? So there are some reasons I've heard people say, whatever like that, as to why people tend to bite their tongue when they've been done wrong, when their feelings have been hurt or whatever like that. So most people are going to think, I don't like confrontation. Some people are going to brush their feelings off and act like, oh, it ain't no biggie. Some people don't know boundaries. They don't know how to set them. You don't hold your values in high regard. And lastly, I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to come off mean or rude or whatever. Now, my question to that is, I wonder if that person who just did you dirt had that same question in their head. Odds are no. But there's a difference in aggression and being assertive. Because when someone is being aggressive in their communication with you, they have no regards for how you feel. You know what I'm saying? They're more concerned about winning an argument, imposing their will on you, being dominant on you. They're more concerned about being right, getting their way, than about how you feel. Being assertive has more to do with being clear, being direct, being respectful, in expressing what it is you feel about somebody, about a particular situation. You know what I'm saying? And expressing your needs. How can you become more assertive? How can you stop being a doormat? You just gotta speak up. You got to speak up. You have a right to be heard the same way they were being heard. You know what I'm saying? And so it's in your expression that your desires will be displayed, not in your silence, not in you biting your tongue. And you can't expect people to care when you don't care enough to be able to voice your opinion on the matter. At least that's how they're gonna take it. Oh, I didn't think you felt any type of way. You didn't tell me anything. That's a valid point. Second thing, do your best not to make assumptions, but to simply ask, right? I say don't assume because no matter how long you've known a person, no matter who they are, whether that be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your cousin, your best friend, your mom, your dad, your uncle, don't assume that they should know how you were going to feel about the situation. People aren't mind readers, and at the end of the day, it's your job to express that to them. Thirdly, set boundaries. Do the self-inventory to figure out what makes you feel good, what doesn't, what you're trying to protect. Because at the end of the day, this is your space. You dictate what comes into your space and what goes out. And you dictate what is going on in that space. And when you let in, and when they're in that space, sometimes you gotta let people know of consequences. And that leads me into the fourth thing. Stand on your consequences. Let's say, for example, me as a Christian, if I already voice to you, I'm trying to live a certain type of way. I gave my life to Christ. I'm trying to move with him. I'm trying to stay away from the things of the world. But yet every time I see you, you trying to bring the blunt to me. You trying to bring some alcohol to me. That's blatant disrespect for what it is I just told you. I'm trying to walk in a certain type of way. And you don't even respect my journey enough to at least stay over there with that nonsense. If I told you, fam, Stop doing that, or else we can't be cool. Now it's on me to stand on that consequence. I told you we not gonna be cool, right? All right, bro, it's the end. We done. Lose my number. Don't hit me up. Don't ask me if we could chill. We done. Because I already voiced to you how much this means to me. I already voiced to you what I'm trying to do. Either you can join me, or the least you can do is stay out of my way. But nah, you trying to be a stumbling block unto me. All right, I know who you are now. Don't worry about it. But when you don't stand on your consequences, what they look, because sometimes people want to try to call your bluff. They trying to see if you really mean what you saying. They gonna think you playing with it. But if you nip it in the bud early, they gonna know. Especially when you remain consistent. Oh yeah, he already told me it's gonna be an issue. He checked me the last time. All right, let me leave it alone. It's just like with kids. It's just like with kids. One of the biggest reasons as to why I feared or had reverence for my father was because I knew when he said, yo, this is what's gonna happen, that's what it was. So when my mom, oh, don't worry about it, your father's coming home soon. As a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, bro, you kidding me? Why? Because I knew it was gonna be a problem. Because he already laid down the foundation. So you got to stick with the consequences, and there are lessons in the losses. So when they realize, oh snap, I just lost out, they gonna learn something. It's all right to let people go. It is all right to let people go. And I feel like sometimes people are so desperate to stay in relationships with people, they'll accept people that's on some bull job. You'll stay with the toxic person because you don't love you like that. You don't view yourself as good enough. And so you stick with these people who are no good for you, with a fear that you ain't gonna find nobody else who's gonna care about you, or you don't deserve anything else. But sometimes you gotta let people go. When you're willing to be alone, it's like nobody could really hold the relationship against you because you're willing to be alone. You can't use that against me because I'm cool being alone. But if I'm desperate to be in a relationship, they'll flip that. Ain't nobody gonna love you like I love you. Ain't nobody gonna do this for you like how I do it for you. Or they abuse that because they know you want to stay here. That's what I would say about that. At the end of the day, you teach people how to treat you. You teach them in what you say, what you're verbalizing, and in what you are tolerating. Let's say, for example, if I tell my girl, yo, I value my alone time. Then again, on the other side of it, I always allow her to bombard herself into my alone time. It's not, yes, it would be nice for her to understand. Not saying this is an example, y'all. Yes, it would be nice for her to understand, oh yeah, he's in his alone time right now. I need to respect that. But if I let it slide the first time, then the second time, the third time, the fourth time, it becomes habit. Then she's looking at it like, I don't need to respect your alone time because you don't even respect it enough. You keep letting me in here. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll say that. And then you have to do it and try your hardest to value yourself more. When you let this stuff slide, when you keep letting people treat you like a doormat, you're going to live in the regret. If there are certain desires, certain things, certain needs that you need met in your partner, your cousin, whoever, like I said, and they're just they're dominating you, it's like, you're going to be stuck with the regret of giving them whatever it is that they wanted, especially if it's something that you really didn't want. So now you got to live with that. And I think what always happens is we get stuck in this hard place. We get stuck between a rock and a hard place. We get stuck with being mad that we were just treated like trash, but then being mad at ourselves because we allowed ourselves to be treated like trash. And learning to love yourself. This is why I make these videos, because when you don't love yourself, it's like you give a license to people not to love you correctly. So that's what I gotta say about that, yo. Learn to stand up for yourself. Stop being a doormat. Don't let people run through you like that, yo. But prayerfully, this was edifying. I hope this helped y'all out, because I know everybody's dealing with some things, and this was something I thought about doing, because I see, you know, it's like sometimes like a natural reaction for us not to want to run towards the confrontation, but this is something that you have to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, prayerfully you on path to getting to know God, and you're on track, on path to getting to know Him and what He has in store for your life. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, put your people on. It's for you and yours. At the end of the day, man, y'all stay up, stay blessed. Peace and love.